I'm late, so he's in hurry, but can I do a 2-minute chant and start?
Yeah, sure.
Jananam sukadham maranam karunam milanam maduram smaranam karunam kalavashadiha sakalam karunam samayadipate akilam karunam. Namaskaram. Namaskaram to all of you. Namaskaram, sir. I'm extremely sorry. Today, after 39 years, this has been broken in my life. I have never been to… In these 39 years, almost every day I have a minimum 1 or 2 events. I have never been late to a single event. Today, the UP protests got me to come late here and also to the previous event because everywhere the roads were blocked and we were on motorcycles and we have to ride through agricultural lands to somehow get here 4 hours late. I'm sorry to keep you waiting. And my association with Uttarakhand, I must tell you, since the age of 19, for 27 years, every year I trekked in these mountains. Once or twice maybe I went to Himachal Pradesh, but the rest of the years in this Char Dham region I've trekked. I always trekked alone, so those days things were very minimal. So I've slept in the bus stations, I've slept in the culverts, I've slept on my motorcycle most of the time. So I know this land very well. In a way, probably very few people will know because I've not just gone to the famous places, I've gone to most little-known places. So, since 16 years I have not come here because the last time I came, I think that was 2005. When I came, the mountain peaks that I'm so familiar with all over, for the first time in 2005, I saw some of the mountain peaks which in any season, any time of the year if you come, they were snow-clad. But that time when I came in the month of September, I think, this is September again, some of them were just bare and black. For the first time I saw these mountain peaks without snow. Somewhere it disturbed me a lot. Since then, since 2006, every year I've been on the other side of Himalayas. I've been trekking in Tibet and Nepal for last 16 years. 2020 we broke it, but just now I went to Kailash Yatra once again and just got back in the first week of September. So it's great to be here, and now that it's a separate state in the last few years, how many years? 10 years, is it? 15 years? Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I'm out of time. So, there is a tremendous possibility here now that it's a more focused administration than being part of a very large state that it was. Well, having said that, I don't… I mean, the Chief Minister is… Honorable Chief Minister is here on the stage. I don't want to take the liberty of saying too many things, but My heart beats for Bharat, so I can't stop saying certain things. Hello? This is not about just this state, all over the place this is true, but this state particularly, we need to be very careful because there is a certain pristineness, there is a certain value, natural value to the place. If we lose that, then we will regret this very badly because these folds of mountains, initially when I came when I was 19, 20, I used to come by train and get off and get onto those buses which were called as Bhuk Hartal. Morning 4 o'clock, 3:30, 4 o'clock, they will leave Haridwar, and by the time it reaches Badrinath or somewhere, it'll be 6:37 in the evening. He won't stop anywhere for eating or anything. So I would just carry a basket full of apples and just eat these apples because by the time I come from South India, after we cross Andhra Pradesh, anywhere you ask what is the food, they will say aloo, aloo matar, aloo gobi, aloo. By the time I come here, I'm done with aloo, so so largely I just carried a bag full of apples and just managed with that. So at that time, I always went and sat on top of the bus, not inside because I didn't want to miss the mountains for a minute. So I'm saying in the sun, in the wind, in rain, I sat always on the top of the bus for many years. So I know every bend, every peak like that in my mind because I don't disturb my mind because I don't think anything. The videos that I've recorded are all in my mind. So I know much has changed, but the fundamentals have not changed and should not change. That is the important thing. Well, we can call it what we want, but the most important thing is, these mountains, I did not come to these mountains seeking spirituality, but I have a mountain addiction. So every year I have to be somewhere in some mountain, and wherever we set up the center, we always set up centers at the foothills of a mountain, and there is no mountain like Himalayas, okay? I've been everywhere in the world. There are all kinds of mountains, but there is no mountain like Himalayas. And Himalayas also has many faces. The northeastern Himalayas are different, Tibetan Himalayas are different, Nepali Himalayas are somewhat similar but still different. Even the Himachal Pradesh Himalayas are different from what you have in Uttarakhand, very different. I've written many poems about Uttarakhand Himalayas because I got lost for weeks just in the folds of this. It's like entering, once again going back to our mother's womb. It's like that in endless amount of folds, endless amount of valleys. I've done these roads any number of times. It was 41 years ago that probably 1980 or 81, I'm not sure, one of those years, I came here on my motorcycle. Now again I'm on my motorcycle after 41 years. Because just the windshield of the glass, the windshield of the car and the windows are too restrictive for me. I want to be bang on with the mountains, so I'm on my motorcycle once again. So being here is fantastic and all of you live here. I do not know if every day you spend at least a few minutes looking up at one of the mountains or you're busy… Hello? This one, You must do this. No matter what the hell is happening with your life, you must look up, huh? There's one thing you can't build is a mountain, all right? I know some idiots have said faith can move mountains. No, only a fool would try to move a mountain. Hello? Not faith. Only a utter fool will want to move a mountain. Mountain is one thing we should not move. But because we want to go there, we need a road, we need something, we will make it. We must keep it to the minimum and maximum people should enjoy it, but with minimum disturbance, we must look at that. In my opinion, I've always thought this way. This Uttarakhand as a state, if you pay the right kind of attention, you can make this the Switzerland of Asia. You have everything. Switzerland earns about $43 billion in tourism every year. I don't think we are anywhere near that here, simply because in India there is too many valuable things and we don't know how to present it to the world. We have a massive problem of presentation. I feel being a reasonably small state, and I see all of you proud of the place, huh? There is pride in you. Once there is pride in a human being, we can hurt it by saying certain things, and that's what I plan to do today. Because if you're proud and you're not doing enough, your pride need to be stamped a little bit, hello? Those who are not proud of where they are, you can't do anything about them, they're gone. You're proud about it, but you're not doing enough. Now we need to poke it a little bit, shall I? Just now I flew from Haridwar to here. If you look at Rishikesh or even Dehradun, as I said many times, I've passed through these towns, how they were. Today how it is, it's looking like just about any other North Indian town, at least from the air. If you get down also, it's like that. Well, population pressures are there, all these issues are there, I'm not being unrealistic about that. But still a little more care and concern. It's not just the government, it's the people also, all right? We are a democracy. You can't just point at one person. One person takes up the dirty job, yes. But the people must stand up, it's very important. Yes, the authority may be in the hands of the leaders, but the desire to create must be in the hearts of the people, otherwise it won't happen. Because you elect somebody with 4 years or 5 years of term, and then you expect them to do miracles, with everybody pulling their legs every day. I'm not trying to support a particular government, that's not the intention, any government. I'm saying once people have elected somebody, 5 years, we must do everything possible to make it work. Otherwise, what is the point? Democracy in India is becoming super destructive. We think democracy means fighting 5 years continuously. No, democracy means last 3 months before the election, we can fight as much as we want. Once people have chosen, we must just shut up and do work. Hello? All of you, I'm saying? It doesn't matter which party we belong, which caste, which creed, what we belong to. Once election is over, everybody must see what to do, hello, how to work. Unfortunately, this is not happening, not just in one place, everywhere, because people think democracy means throughout the year, we must be endlessly fighting. In a small state like this, at least you can rest that nonsense. Once somebody takes charge, we must do our best to support it, see what we can do. If we are not happy with them, of course you have a next election to make up your mind, isn't it? So, having said that, see, I don't know how many of you have gone through all the folds of these mountains. You should in your lifetime. Before you're too old and too bald for anything worthwhile, you must do this when you still have legs and lungs. You must do at least parts of this mountain, because if you don't do this, you don't know what you're missing. It's not just about just natural beauty. There is something here which can make your life, reignite in a big way. It can just… I'm nearly 65 and I'm riding. Hello? It can reignite life in you in such a way which is very powerful and fantastic. People from all over the world are coming to experience this. People here should not miss it, because only if you experience it, then you will want to do something about it. When you have no experience of it, you don't know what it is. It is just in the map, Himalayas is a nuisance, because Too many mountains, we can't build homes, we can't do things. If it was plain land, how much we could have built? No, Himalayas is a miracle. Somehow it's happened in our country. Unfortunately, we did not have the foresight to take all of it. In 1947, we should have taken the whole of Himalayas, but unfortunately we left pieces of it all over. But still, a very significant and beautiful aspect of Himalayas is with us. This part we need to take care of, and all of you should participate. It's not just the job of the elected government. People must participate as to how to do this, how we should do this without hurting the nature, without hurting… It is not like… this should not become like the classic cutting the golden goose kind of thing, you know. This is a golden goose. You don't have to do anything, very simply, already mountains are ready, you don't have to build it, all right? In plains, everything we have to build. Here mountains are ready, people are wanting to experience it, all you have to do is facilitate it, ensure that you don't kill the golden goose, it will lay the golden egg. And it's not just about money. Money will come because when something in today's world, when people want to travel desperately to beautiful places, everybody's got the itch to travel. Nobody… I don't see any of the ladies wearing 5 kilograms of gold or anything, because things have changed. Nobody wants to wear such nonsense and go around. They want to use their money to experience life, to travel, to do many things. Everywhere it's the same thing. When this is on in the world, a place like this, if you know, Haridwar means it is a gate. From the gate onwards, if you keep it in such a way that every sort of people want to come, I'm saying this should not be just for religious tourists or spiritual tourists. Yes, they will anyway come. We must make facilities for them, yes, but international tourists have a big draw. There's adventure, there is beauty, there is, rejuvenation, any number of things are there. And it can be done in an eco-friendly way, it's possible to do it. Because everywhere else in the world, at least in the developed part of the world, it's been done. We don't have to reinvent anything, we just have to do it the Indian way, that's all. We don't have to do the Western way. But there is tremendous possibilities, this especially for, yoga, spirituality, rejuvenation, health, these kind of things. You can make this into a fabulous tourism. People are all going to Mexico, all right? This is not the kind of weather nor atmosphere you have in Mexico, but everybody is going to Mexico simply because there's a bunch of spas there. Here we can do wonderful things, here there are one or two, but this is not enough. There is a way to do it. The government definitely has to take decisions, but the people must be enterprising. Enterprise should not be against, it should not be… We must wait for the golden egg. We should not cut the goose, that's not the way you get the eggs. Hello?
Yes. Sadhguruji, pranam. There is an oriental saying, when vision is for 1 year, cultivate flowers. When vision is for 10 years, cultivate trees. And when vision is for eternity, cultivate people. And I think last line belongs to you.
Well…
One question I just want to follow it. Being a software engineer, just want to ask one soft question, not soft for others. How it is possible to follow spiritual principles in politics?
See, spirituality is not a principle or a concept or a philosophy. I'm asking you, are you alive right now?
Yes.
Don't say of course, that's a bad thing to say. If your wife asks you, do you love me? You say, of course. Come on, you can't say that, hello? Are you alive right now? Huh? No, I want you to… don't have a standard answer, I want all of you to answer this. Checking, just check if you're alive and then tell me, are you alive right now?
Yes, sir.
Yes. How do you know? How do you know that you're alive? Breath? Air conditioner also is breathing, That's the reason why you know you're alive. Hmm?
We are feeling, we are able to feel
You're able to feel what?
everything.
Now, how do you know that you're alive? Huh? Senses are working, you're able to see, but your phone can see. You're able to hear, your phone can hear. You're able to talk, your phone can talk. Tell me, can you do something other than that? Huh? That's why I'm asking, how do you know? I'm sorry? No, I'm not impressed by such things. Yes. See, if you fall asleep, don't do it now, okay? If you fall asleep, you're not conscious of my holy presence, all right? But still you're alive. Hello? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
If you fall asleep, don't experiment now. If you fall asleep, you don't know I'm here, you don't know where you are, you don't know whether you are there or not, but you're still alive, isn't it? So I'm asking right now, how do you know that you're alive? Ma?
Breathing.
What's that, ma? Life throbbing within us.
Breathing, we are breathing.
Well, see, the air conditioner also is breathing, in and out it's doing. Exhaust fan is exhaling, this is inhaling. Huh? Emotions? What emotions are you having right now? Don't tell us, don't tell us.
The battery is on.
Huh?
The battery is on.
Hmm? You can do what you want. You're able to move your hand? There may be somebody who can't move their hand, so they're not alive. No, so that… Hmm? What is that, ma? You're able to respond. Do you know there's a lady called Alexa? Are you joking? Are you joking, ma?
When we feel our atmosphere, anybody is around, and we can differentiate this is to be done, this is right, or this is…
You think human beings know what is right and wrong? Are you joking with me? See, ma, of all the creatures on the planet, you have never seen a bad tiger, have you? No. You've never seen a bad ant, you've never seen a bad elephant. It's only the human beings who are always confused about what is good and bad, isn't it? All other creatures know what is good for them, what is bad for them, yes or no? Yes, that boy, young boy. What is that? That's what I said. There are many machines which can do that now. Anyway, we'll come to that. See, the important thing is this. The important thing is this, that you know you're there, but you don't know how. You're there, but if you start searching, you don't know how. You don't know where you're there, isn't it? Hello? You don't know where you really are. You say, I'm here. But at one time, when you were born, you were only this much, now you become this much. When you were this also, you thought this is me. Now also you think this is me, isn't it? See, when you were 5 years of age, maybe you were only 3 feet. If I ask you, who are you? You say, I'm Alexa. Whatever your name. Now you're 10 years of age, maybe you're 4 feet. If I ask you, who are you, you say the same name, you are the same person. Now if I ask you, you're the same person. If I meet you after 50 years, you may be a very old person. If I ask you, who are you, I'm the same person. But if I ask you, where are you in this? Because are you 3 feet, 4 feet, 5 feet? What is it? Because you have gotten identified with your physiology and physiological responses, with your psychological space and its responses. But both these things slowly you gathered over a period of time, isn't it? This body, you gathered over a period of time. This mind, this heap of impressions, you gathered over a period of time. So this heap of food, this heap of impressions, which you call body and mind, you gathered. What you gather can be yours. I'm not disputing it now. One day there will be a dispute about that also. But right now, let me not dispute that. It is yours, but it can't be you, isn't it? If suddenly I take this vessel and say, this is my vessel, you will think, oh, Sadhguru has got some problem. But let's listen, everybody says he's wise. Then after some time I say, this is me. Then you'll say, let's go. Because now you know this is a case. So this is the same thing with you. Food appears on your plate, you say, this is my food, you eat it, and then you say, this is me. This is a case, isn't it? The only comfort is, everybody around me is in the same state. But that's how it is in a mental asylum. Hello? Only the doctor is mad in the mental asylum, everybody else is normal. Isn't it so? Only he looks crazy. Because he's going there for work, all others are locked. So, this is very important. This is what this land is about. This land is not about conclusions. This land is about seeking the truth of our life. In that context, Uttarakhand becomes super significant because whenever people are seeking, they came to Himalayas. There is a whole culture about that. And many reasons, I don't want to go into all that, but when people start seeking, they want to go to Himalayas. This has always been the way. But you are in Himalayas. You must seek, not draw conclusions, this, that. This is not a land of conclusions. This is a land of seeking. The most important thing about seeking is, you have realized that you do not know. I do not know is a tremendous possibility. If you kill that, you become an overconfident fool. If you see I do not know, you become super alert. See, right now, if I ask you to walk from here to here, you will walk. What is the problem? But if I make this hall pitch dark and ask you to walk, now you become super alert, isn't it? Why? Because you don't know where the next step is. Actually, you don't know where the next step is. Do you really know? You're just creating unnecessary confidence. Instead of clarity, you're bringing confidence. Confidence without clarity is a deadly dangerous thing. Unfortunately, too many people have that. When we do not know, at least we must be alert, isn't it? This is the nature of I do not know. The moment you realize I do not know, you're alert and you're also humble. Have you seen? You got lost on the street, you don't know where to go. How nicely you go and talk to people. You think you know how you talk to people. So this is a land of seeking. If we saw a tree, we bow down. If we see a rock, we bow down. If we see a man, we bow down. Woman, we bow down. Child, we bow down. A cow, dog, anything, we bow down because we know we do not know. Well, somebody thinks they know, but I want you to know this. After all this scientific exploration, we still do not know a single atom in its entirety. We know how to break an atom, we know how to fuse an atom, we know how to mess it up, but we don't know what it is. Similarly with you, you know all kinds of things, what to do with this one, but you don't know what this is, isn't it? Hello? See, you did not exist a few years ago. I'm saying few because I don't want to say, ladies are here. Just a few years ago, 18 years ago, you did not exist. Now you're here. Maybe another 100 years later, you will not be here. You don't know where you came from, you don't know where you went. Simply belief systems. Oh, I came from heaven, I'll go to heaven. If you know you're going to heaven, why are you postponing it, huh? Yeah, if you are sure where you're going, you just have to check if the accommodations there are better. If it is better, you must go today before I come. Isn't it? People are doing all this to avoid life. These conclusions are to avoid life. That is not the nature of our culture. This culture is not about avoiding life. This is about paying attention to everything, small or big, everything we bow down, because we know that in the tiniest of things, the secrets of life is hidden and we have not perceived all of it. We have not unraveled all of it. So, if you see I do not know, you will be alert. See, you will be alert and attentive. Your attention is the key to the universe. How profound is your attention? That is how much of life will open up for you. The moment you think, I know, you're not attentive anymore. Hello? Attention means you're on. See, I'll ask you a simple question. I will bless you with a long life. How long you want? 100, 200, what? Because you've always heard Himalayan yogis and all lived something. 400 is it? What's your number? Tell me. Whatever, okay? 100 years, I'll tell you. I'll bless you with a long life. But tell me one thing. Are you alive for longer time or are you dead for longer time? Hello?
Alive for longer.
Really? See, you may be alive for 100 years, or I'll give you 150, okay? You may be alive for 150 years, but after you die, how long are you dead? Huh? I'm sorry? No. After you're dead, how long are you dead? 100 years, 200 years, 10,000 years? That's what I'm asking. Are you alive for longer or dead for longer? You're alive just for a little bit of time. You are dead forever, isn't it? So I'm saying, this is not a time to practice death. This is a time for life. So if your attention is on and off, that means your life is on and off. No, this is a time to be on and on. Hello? When you're off, nobody can turn you on again. Once you're off, nobody is going to turn the switch on again for you. You're off, you're off. You're on, now you should not be on and off. No, but my husband doing this, my wife doing that, my business doing this. Oh, there is COVID. You know, the day before yesterday I'm in Gujarat and this lady is saying, big tension, children are at home, there is so much problem. I said, God damn it, 2 years your children are with you, just enjoy them, huh? All these years you are screaming that your children are not with you, they're somewhere gone. 2 years your children are with you, just enjoy your children, what's your problem? I'm saying, for everything you're crying. You need to understand this. People have faced wars, people have faced famines, people have faced natural calamities where lives have been crushed. This COVID is a softball. All it expects from you is a more responsible behavior. Hello? Yes or no? More conscious and responsible behavior. Because human beings are the only carriers. If rats, mosquitoes, some other creatures were carrying, what would be talking? Let's kill all the rats. Hello? If COVID was being transmitted by mosquitoes, what would you tell the chief minister? Spray the whole place, kill every mosquito in the state. But now you are the carriers, what shall we tell? We are the carriers is both a good thing and a bad thing, isn't it? If we are responsible, it's a very good thing because we can just stop it. If we don't behave responsibly, then nobody can stop it. No government can stop it, believe me, if people don't behave responsibly. Above all, this is a time to live. It doesn't come again, and we live for a very short time. Only miserable people live a long life. Hello? Have you noticed on a certain day, you're very happy, 24 hours, poof, went off like a minute. Another day you're miserable, 24 hours feels like 10,000 years. Have you noticed this? So only miserable people have a long life. If you're a joyful human being, even if you live for 100 years, it'll be gone. If you have something important to do in this life, 100 years is nothing, it's gone in no time. I feel like I was born day before yesterday, look at me, huh? Please.
Right, thank you.
These young men have questions, I'm sorry.
That was my question, actually. How is it possible to follow the spiritual things in politics?
See, I thought I answered the question, but anyway. I did not use the word politics because I don't think politics is different from life. Different people have to do different jobs in the world, all right? Somebody has to cook, somebody has to clean, somebody has to drive, somebody has to run the administration. One is not better than the other. I must tell you this. A 12-year-old boy comes to me. He writes one letter, 4-page letter, this is a few years ago. He says, I don't want to waste my life like my parents. Oh, they're doing mundane things, whatever, earning a living, da-da-da. And I want to do spiritual things. This 4-page letter. I read this letter, very well written. I said, how old is the boy? He said, 12. I said, who's this fellow? Let me see him, ask him to come. So I saw him, and then he's full of fire and how he doesn't want to waste his life like his parents. I said, whoa, just hold it, huh? Your parent wasted time and gave birth to you. That is a… they wasted their time. So you don't become greater by putting somebody down. You rise, you throw everybody down and you think, I'm up. This is no good. You must rise out of your own thing. I said, see, we'll do one thing in the yoga center. Our temples, our Dhyanalinga temple, which is a meditation temple, in the last, 24 or 25 years, every day they'll be standing like this. 6 o'clock in the morning, on the dot, they'll open the door, always. Everything is like this. On time means like to the second. But tomorrow, let us say, we won't open the temple without announcement, just like that. 6 o'clock it didn't open, people will gather. Why is it not open? Then they will ask, what is happening? Is Sadhguru doing some spiritual process inside? This is happening. People will guess like this, many things. And then they'll go back. After waiting half an hour, 1 hour, they'll go back thinking something special is happening. Or let us say, our, it's called Bhiksha Hall, where all the meals are served every day. Morning 10 o'clock means, tang means, meals will start. 25 years without a single day's break, exactly at 10 o'clock in the morning, it'll be served. Tomorrow, we will close this Bhiksha Hall. No announcement. People will gather, hungry. Then they will say, why food is not opening, what is happening? No explanation, nothing has been said. Oh, maybe today is some festival, maybe there's a big feast coming today afternoon or evening, maybe something. After some time they'll get confused, but go back. I said, tomorrow morning we'll lock all the toilets. Morning everybody's up by 4:30, all toilets are locked. By 5 o'clock there'll be a revolution. So I asked this boy, tell me which is more important, temple, dining hall, toilets. You need to understand every aspect of life is equally important. Putting one up, another down, you will mess it up. So why this question about how to be spiritual for a politician alone? Why? A politician is a human being, a citizen in the country, willing to take up all the dirty work. No, I'm not trying to please anybody, I'm just saying, probably a couple of years ago he was one of you. Hello? Now people elect or something happens and then you take the position. Just because you take the position, you don't become a separate species. You're still a human being, you're still a citizen, you're still everything as a human being. So, spirituality is for human beings. We teach spiritual process to convicts in the prison, we teach to the police, we teach to politicians, we teach to people. Spiritual process is for human beings, not for politicians, not for prisoners, not for police, not for this. And do not make people into separate species. They are not separate species. They're just a certain responsibility that's been taken up.
Great. Wonderful. Thank you very much. So, अगला सवाल मुख्यमंत्री जी आपसे पूछने वाला हूँ। दो चीजें, आज जब आप यहाँ पे हैं, जैसा कि सदगुरु जी ने कहा कि हम में से ही एक व्यक्ति आज से कुछ वक्त पहले तक आप थे, आप कैसे जब इस पोजीशन पे होने के बाद उस चीज को मेंटेन कर पाते हैं, नंबर वन। नंबर टू, सदगुरु जी ने ये कहा कि जब फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन उनसे पूछा मैंने कि उत्तराखंड को लेके आपके दिमाग में पहली चीज क्या आती है, तो सदगुरु जी ये कहते हैं कि उत्तराखंड में वो पोटेंशियल है कि हम इसको एशिया का स्विट्जरलैंड बना सकते हैं। तो आप इन दोनों चीजों पे क्या रिस्पॉन्ड करेंगे?
मैं सबसे पहले तो आज सौभाग्य की बात है कि पूरे आप यहाँ की यात्रा पर आए और आपने यहाँ पर समय दिया। मैं आपसे अनुरोध किया कि आप हमारे बीच में आएँ और आप सब लोगों की जो जिज्ञासा है उस जिज्ञासा का समाधान करें। और आध्यात्मिक जगत में और पूरे दुनिया के अंदर आप सब लोग जानते हैं सदगुरु बहुत ही एक ऐसी सुप्रसिद्ध व्यक्तित्व उनका है और आप उत्तराखंड में आए, आपने हमें समय दिया। मैं आपका सब उत्तराखंड वासियों की तरफ से मैं आपका स्वागत करता हूँ, अभिनंदन करता हूँ। और बहुत सरल तरीके से आपने सबकी जिज्ञासा का समाधान किया कि कैसे व्यक्ति जीवन को बिल्कुल सही मायने में जी सकता है, कैसे अपने आप को संतुष्ट रख सकता है। और मैं भी ऐसा मानता हूँ कि व्यक्ति के अंदर सादगी हो, सरलता हो और सच्चाई हो तो कहीं कोई दिक्कत नहीं है। देखिए, दिक्कत तब आती है जब हम अपने आप को कॉम्प्लिकेटेड बना देते हैं। शायद वही उन्होंने समझाने की कोशिश की है यहाँ पर। और जैसा आपने कहा कि उन्होंने पहले ही जवाब दे दिया था जो आप मुझसे पूछ रहे हैं कि कई लोग वहाँ होते हैं और वहाँ से यहाँ आ जाते हैं। तो इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि सोसाइटी में से जो लोग इधर आ जाते हैं तो सोसाइटी से अलग हो जाते हैं, वो भी उसी के अंग हैं। जैसे कोई जिम्मेदारी अभी मुझे मिल गई है तो जिम्मेदारी करना, वो जिम्मेदारी को निभाना, वो अपने आप में थोड़ा पहले के मुकाबले अलग हो जाता है। जैसे क्या है कि पहले हमारे बहुत सारे मित्र होते थे, हैं वो आज भी हैं। अब वो घंटों पहले हम बात करते थे फोन पर, रोज बात करते थे। देहरादून आते थे तो रोज उनके साथ चाय पीते थे, नाश्ता करते थे। अब थोड़ा वो बदल जाता है, उसमें यही एडजस्ट होता है। और वो जो व्यक्ति वहां पर है जिम्मेदारी में, वो तो समझता ही है, लेकिन उसके जो मित्र लोग हैं उनको भी समझना होता है। इतना सा अंतर है। और देखिए, मैं हमेशा कहता हूँ कि हमारा ये स्विट्जरलैंड है और दुनिया का सबसे खूबसूरत प्रदेश हमारा है। हर प्रकार से, जिस प्रकार हमारे यहाँ पर जैसे आपने भी कहा, आपने देखा, आप पहले 16 साल पहले आए, फिर 16 साल बाद आए, 16 ईयर्स। तो जैसे हमारे यहाँ पहाड़ों का दृश्य है, यहाँ पर नदियाँ हैं, वनों से आच्छादित है हर प्रकार से। तो हम कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि आने वाले समय में यहाँ की रोड कनेक्टिविटी अच्छी हो, यहाँ की एयर कनेक्टिविटी अच्छी हो, यहाँ पर रेल कनेक्टिविटी अच्छी हो। मैं देश के यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी का भी धन्यवाद करना चाहता हूँ कि हमारे यहाँ पर देखिए ऋषिकेश से कर्णप्रयाग पहाड़ में रेल जा रही है। कभी किसी ने सपने में भी नहीं सोचा होगा कि पहाड़ के अंदर रेल चली जाएगी। चारों तरफ हमारे चिन्याली सौड़ हो, चाहे पिथौरागढ़ हो, चाहे हमारा अन्य स्थानों 13 स्थानों पर, हम 13 जगह पर जो है अलग अलग से हॉलीड्रोम बनाने की प्रक्रिया हमारी चल रही है। हर प्रकार से उत्तराखंड में आदमी आए और अध्यात्म की खोज करे। अध्यात्म भी यही है, जैसा मैं समझता हूँ, कि अपने आप को खोजना। स्वयं को आपने खोज लिया तो आपने अध्यात्म को पा लिया। तो निश्चित रूप से इस दिशा में जैसा आप कह रहे हैं, हम लोग कोशिश करेंगे कि दुनिया का दूसरा स्विट्जरलैंड हमारा उत्तराखंड बने और लोग वहाँ अपने आप को खोजने आए। तो आप यहाँ आए हैं, मैं आप सबकी तरफ से आपका बार बार कोटि कोटि अभिनंदन करता हूँ, स्वागत करता हूँ। आपने समय दिया, आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
I would like to correct that because it's not my intention that Uttarakhand should become Switzerland, because that will be a downgrade in my experience of life. I'm saying in terms of the amount of tourism wealth that they are generating. In that sense, we must become Switzerland, but we must remain Uttarakhand.
अच्छे से हमारे मुख्यमंत्री जी ने भी बताया कि किस प्रकार से हम उत्तराखंड को आध्यात्मिक जगत का सिरमौर बनाना चाहते हैं। इसी में अगला सवाल सदगुरु जी आपसे पूछना चाहते हैं, इसी बात को बढ़ाते हुए, डू यू हैव एनी प्लान्स टू ओपन ईशा फाउंडेशन सेंटर्स इन उत्तराखंड, बिकॉज दिस इज देवभूमि?
Right now, as all of you know, there is a Isha Yoga Center outside of Coimbatore at the foothills of Western Ghats. It's an extremely beautiful place, and we have a 20,000-acre center coming up in Tennessee in United States. We're building a spiritual city there. We have another center coming up in Bangalore, outside of Bangalore. You're tempting me. I've worked too hard all these years. Somebody was asking me, I was in Mysore. I said, see, only when I was in Mysore, early age, I lived. Since then, I've only been working. 7 days of the week, 365 days, it's on and on. But if Uttarakhand invites me, I won't say no. Definitely in Himalayas, if we can set up a large Adiyogi, and which will be a huge tourist draw. Every year we are in a remote place, but lakhs of people are visiting just to see Adiyogi's face. Here, it will draw crores of people. So if you want that, it's not that we necessarily have to run a center. One more thing is, Isha Yoga Center conducts what is called as classical Hatha Yoga training. Unfortunately, except probably a handful of schools, nobody is doing classical Hatha Yoga the way it is done, as it was taught by Agastya Muni, just the same way it is taught even today. It's a powerful system. And setting up such a school would be great here. But you say, I don't want to take up a 10-20-year project at this stage in my life. If you do the fundamentals, we can do it for you. It's not necessary we have to run it, but we can do it for you if Uttarakhand wants it.
सदगुरु जी, जैसे रामायण में जामवंत जी जब हनुमान जी को कहते हैं, उनका उत्साहवर्धन कहते हैं, करते हैं और कहते हैं कि पवन तनय बल पवन समाना, का चूप सादी रहे बलवाना, और वो समुद्र को पार कर जाते हैं। वैसे ही आप हमें इस प्रकार से गाइड करते हैं और हमारे अंदर का जो सोया हुआ हनुमान होता है वो जाग जाता है। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
My next question, in one of your interviews, you have mentioned the Uttarkashi temple, and you said कि the place is bursting with energy. आप क्या share कर सकते हैं वो experience?
See, I'm not a regular temple-going person, I'm saying this, because I don't. Even the temples inside the ashram, I don't go there unless I have to do something. Because I don't have to go anywhere. If the only place for me is, if I close my eyes, I'm done. I don't really have to go anywhere. But I go to places where… See, this is one thing, we need to understand this. Please listen to me carefully, otherwise misunderstandings will happen. I think this is also being webcast, is it? Okay, more misunderstanding happens there. So all of you who are caught in the web, you must listen more carefully. See, India is a godless country, I want you to understand this. This is the only country, this is the only culture on the planet which tells you your life is your karma. This means your life is your making. But we have so many gods, how? See, all the people that you worship, whether it's Adiyogi, Shiva or Rama, Krishna, or many Devis and whatever, these are all people who walked this land at some time. They went through life, trials and tribulations of life, full drama. Hello? You call it Ramayana, it's serious drama. You call it Mahabharata, full of drama. Even in your house, if there is a fight going on, you say, this is Mahabharata, isn't it? Because every kind of fight that people can have, full drama. So I'm saying, these are not people who dropped from somewhere. These were people who were normal birth to their mothers, and they went through their childhood, they grew up, they struggled, all kinds of things happened. Most of them, one way or the other, got involved in wars, but still they remained untouched. They did not become bitter, they did not become vengeful, they did not become angry, they remained free. So in this culture, the highest value is mukti. Mukti means freedom or liberation. The highest value is not God. The highest value is mukti, isn't it? We have forgotten, unfortunately. This is not a culture about going to heaven. This is a culture about becoming free from the very process of life and death. That is what this culture is about. And all the people that you worship are human beings who walked on this planet, but no matter what life did to them, they remained untouched. Because of that, we, in our experience, this is living mukti. So we bow down and worship to them, we look up to them, all right? Because they are symbols of mukti. People did all kinds of things to them, but they remained untouched. Untouched does not mean they lived in a cave. Active in life, untouched. Because our highest goal is mukti, our highest goal is freedom. And I'm telling you, next 50 years, if you keep this alive and vibrant, this will be the way of the world. Because in another 50 years' time, human intellect will be in such a way. Already it's coming here, there's so many young people here, eagerly looking at me. Do you want to go to heaven? No. See, they're saying, no. They will ask, is there Wi-Fi there? Because this whole thing about promises about going to heaven, God will meet you, keep you in your lap, they're not interested anymore. Because once logical thinking happens, heaven is not the place to go. What is in heaven? Can I tell you? Hello? You know what is in heaven? Oh, you don't know. In Hindu heaven, food is very good. If you are a foodie, that's where you must go. In another heaven, there are white-gowned ladies floating in the clouds. If you like that kind of ambience, you can go there. In another heaven, you will encounter virgin problems. If that's what you want, you can go there. But to go there, what you should do? This happened in Alabama. You've been listening, you're not doing any study, education, nothing, you're just listening to YouTube, that's why. In Alabama this happened. Sunday morning, Sunday school, Sunday school teacher is going on full fire. All tiny tots, they're not like you, little children. Catch them young policy, So in this rhetoric, just for effect, the teacher stops and says, "What do you have to do to go to heaven?" Little Mary in the front row stands up and says, "If I clean the church floor every Sunday morning, I will go to heaven." Correct. Another little girl says, "If I share my pocket money with my less privileged friend, I will go to heaven." Correct. Another boy says, "If I do good things, I'll go to heaven." Correct. Little Tommy in the back bench you have confusions. When you die, we will either bury you, burn you, cut you and throw you to the birds, depending on what your culture. Accordingly, we'll do something. One thing is, you'll put the body back to earth, because this body is just the very soil that you walk upon. Hello? The soil became food, food became you. Right now, if you get it, you will live wonderfully. Most people get it only when you bury them or burn them and throw them in Ganga, then they will understand. But it's late, So you put your body back into the earth one way or the other, that's the only eco-friendly thing most people do. So you left your body here and went to heaven. Now what do you do with good food and virgins and nonsense? All these are problems only when you have a body, isn't it? So these kind of things are not going to fly as people start thinking more and more logically. Already it's happening, say young people don't want to go to heaven. Old people want to go? No, even you don't want to go. You will see in another 50 years, nobody will want to go. But still, human longing to know will not go, all right? Human longing to know, human longing to become free from what troubles them, will that go? It'll always be there. So when that happens, this is the only culture which can provide the answer, because we have the tools for self-transformation. We don't have philosophies, we don't have ideologies, we don't have commandments, we have tools how to enhance yourself, how to become free from what troubles you on a daily basis. So, you will see this culture become super prominent in the next 50 years' time, but these 50 years we must maintain it alive. We must keep it alive, this is important. This culture is not yours. This culture belongs to every human being, because this is human longing to know. This is not Hindu longing to know. This is not your longing to know in Uttarakhand. This is wherever you are. If you're born in Timbuktu, even there the human being has the same questions. Hello? But here we created a culture where your question is not a sacrilege. You can ask any kind of question, it's okay. For this question we will kill you, for that question we'll punish you. There is no such thing. You can ask any question. Question is not an abuse. Question is just a tool to know, dig deeper, isn't it? Question is just a tool to dig deeper. Question is not an abuse. Question is not an insult. But for asking questions in most parts of the world, people have died. But in this culture, you see, even when people that you consider as divine entities, for example, Krishna wants to speak, poor man. Because all his life he was busy trying to manage people, In the end, battle time, at least now, he wants to speak to one man who is so close and dear to him. And look at that fellow, how many questions he's got. Huh? Shiva wants to speak to his dear wife. Oh my God, she freaks him with questions. So this is a land of seeking. We never thought asking a question within yourself or outside is wrong. You can ask any kind of question. But question is not to prove how smart you are. Question is a tool to dig deeper. As long as your question is sincere, you can ask any kind of question. This is the culture, and this is what the whole world will want as time progresses, as human intellect evolves. This is the culture that everybody will seek. If you maintain Uttarakhand as a salubrious atmosphere for that, well, you will be top priority. Yes, sir. Yes, yes, please.
You said that some fool have said that divinity can move the mountains. So I'll start from there.
I didn't say divinity, sir. I said faith.
Yeah, faith. Okay. My very plain and simple question, because you spoke so eloquently and so practical things of the life, that forced me to ask me a question. Do you believe there is anything like spirituality? There is anything like divinity? Or do you believe that you are a spiritual being? Or everything in this world is just materialistic? Enjoy it and then it ends up with the end of the life, the eternal life. I'm literally confused, because you started with
Sir.
that Uttarakhand is a,
Sir, one second.
Yeah,
A
please.
question, as I said, it's only a tool to know, all right? First thing is there's no need of so many excuses to ask a question. You can ask any question. And leave the question to me, don't try to answer it. Okay?
Yeah.
I thought he's asked a question.
Didn't ask my very plain and simple question. That's my curiosity rather.
Yes, I got it.
Because I'm also a seeker.
No, I have no issue about
No,
that.
I'm a seeker.
That is why I'm saying you
Yes.
should not hesitate to ask. You
Yes.
don't need an explanation to ask a question. You
Yes.
can ask a question
Yes.
to anybody.
My question is, do you believe that you're a spiritual human being?
I got the
The
question.
second question is there anything like a divinity?
I got the question.
Do you think that Uttarakhand is a spiritual land? That's all.
Too many questions actually.
It's okay. First of all, let me address everybody, because this is, in some way, it's there in everybody's mind. How many of you believe you have two hands? All such people just raise one hand, please. If you believe you have two hands, raise one hand. Do you believe you have two hands, or do you know that you have two hands? Hello? You know that. Suppose I start an argument with you to prove to you that you have no two hands. Somebody starts an argument with you, goes on proving you have no two hands, and argument becomes too overwhelming. One slap in the face. They know you got hands. All right? So with hands you know. But with divinity, God, spirit, you don't know, but at the same time you can't admit you don't know. So you believe. So belief essentially means you're not willing to, you're not you're not straight enough in your life to see what I do not know as I do not know. This is very important. I do not know is a tremendous possibility. The moment you see, I do not know, the possibility of knowing is there. Everything that we do not know, if we believe, then there's no need to search. So you must understand this. The moment you refer to yourself as a religious person, we refer to you as a believer. The moment you say, I'm a spiritual person, we refer to you as a seeker. You can only be a seeker if you have realized you do not know. I know there is God and I am seeking. You are not a seeker. You are trying to prove your conclusions. A seeker means you do not know. If you see, I do not know, many wonderful things will happen to you. Above all, the possibility of knowing becomes a reality. If you believe, then you closed it in your mind and playing games with it, because it gives you… belief gives you confidence without clarity. When you see, I do not know, when you become a seeker, a clarity arises within you, but slowly. Confidence comes immediately. Clarity comes slowly. But tell me, what do you prefer, clarity or confidence? Clarity. If you're seeing clearly, why do you need confidence? If you're blind and you need to walk, you need confidence. If you can see very clearly, why do you need confidence? You can simply walk without any problems. So this is the difference between spiritual process and religion. Religion means you believe something. Spirituality means you seek. I am seeking means what? I have admitted that I do not know. Hello? In my very seeking, I have admitted I do not know. Does that answer your question, sir, or no? I'm not
Question
the boss.
with Mukhyamantri ji, Manya Mukhyamantri ji. One question to you. माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी, आपने अपने पूर्व के संबोधनों में भी बताया है और जैसा कि आपने इससे पहले के प्रश्न के आंसर में भी बताया, आप बचपन से ही आध्यात्मिक प्रवृत्ति के रहे हैं। आध्यात्मिकता को लेकर आपके क्या विचार हैं?
Why are you putting the chief minister in this kind of corner?
Every time we see only one part of politicians, so because of you we are able to see the second part.
It's not working.
इतना बड़ा सेशन हमारे सदगुरु जी का हो गया यहाँ पर, तो आध्यात्मिकता की जहाँ तक बात है, मैंने पहले कहा कि अपने आप को पाना और हम जिस काम में हैं उस काम को पूरे प्राणों प्रण के साथ कर पाएं, पूरी ईमानदारी से कर पाएं, पूरी मेहनत से कर पाएं और पूरे मनोयोग से कर पाएं, तो मैं समझता हूँ कि सही मायने में आध्यात्मिकता है। और हम जिस काम में हैं यहाँ पर नर सेवा ही नारायण सेवा है। यानी कि समाज में जो अंतिम छोर में जो खड़ा व्यक्ति है, अब क्या अंत्योदय, समाज के अंतिम छोर में खड़ा हुआ व्यक्ति, जिसको कोई आशा है, जिसको कोई मन में अभिलाषा है कि उसको हम कुछ दे पाएं, उसकी हम कुछ मदद कर पाएं, मैं समझता हूँ सही मायने में हमारे जैसे लोगों के लिए यही आध्यात्मिकता है, अपने आप को पा पाएं।
Actually, there are time constraint is there, so please.
It is a great privilege, Honorable Sadhguru ji. I am an MLA in this state, and Honorable CM is sitting there. There has been a question right from my adolescence which has been puzzling me.
I'm not answering adolescents' questions.
No, sir, no. Still you. See, I'm 55 now. And Sthit Pragya, Sadhguru ji, Sthit Pragya. I could not solve the puzzle of Sthit Pragya. If you could enlighten me on that.
What is the question? I'm sorry, I didn't understand.
My question is, Sthit Pragya, the riddle inside the puzzle wrapped in enigma, what Churchill said once. The Sthit Pragya, which comes in Gita. So that I could not understand the inset of it and the onset of it when it comes in Gita. If you could enlighten on that, my humble request.
See, if you do not know this, the word Sadhguru means an illiterate guru. Really. When I say uneducated or illiterate guru, you must understand, Sadhguru is not a title, it's a description. Like you go to your doctor, you have some problem in your eye, you don't go to an orthopedic, you go to an ophthalmologist. He's written ophthalmologist, you go there because your problem is eye. If your bone is broken, you don't go to an ENT, you go to an orthopedic because it's a description. Similarly, a Sadhguru means there's only one thing he knows. I know this piece of life from its origin to its ultimate, and that's all I know. If you want to know scriptures, you don't come to me. If you want to know traditions, you don't come to me. You want to know mantra, tantra, you don't come to me. Only if you want to know life, you come to me, because that's all I know. Anyway, prajna means
Sportsman, sir, Asian champion, they say that when you win, you don't lose your brain, and when you lose, you don't lose your heart. That is what is spirit and self-pride, according to me.
That's good for a sports person, but that won't take you across. That will…
Sir,
I'll just finish this one second.
yes, sir.
The important thing is, you have a body, you have a mind. Body is a certain process, mind is a certain process. Both these processes, if they have to run, something more fundamental is there here. There's an intelligence beyond your body, beyond your mind, because you eat a piece of carrot, it becomes human body. A simple carrot becomes a most sophisticated human body, isn't it? So there is an intelligence here. If you are in touch with that intelligence, you are a sthita prajna, because these processes which are happening in reaction to situations around you, both your physiological and psychological processes are happening in response to the world. If you are in touch with a dimension within you which doesn't belong to these two, then you will conduct these processes in the best possible way and that's it. Otherwise, you will start thinking the drama is real. It's just a drama that you're going through right now. Play the drama well, but don't think it's everything because it's a psychological drama. What's happening in your mind is not existentially true. It is a psychological drama, but people are suffering it, enjoying it, all kinds of things happening. This is like going to the movie, crying, laughing, everything. Some people have a heart attack in the movie because suspense. So right now, one thing that people can't take in life is suspense. What will happen? What will happen? All right? Now, if you are in touch with a dimension within you which can turn a piece of bread into a human being, is it there in you or no? It's there. If you are in touch with it, you are a sthita prajna because your prajna will not be disturbed by psychological and physiological, this adolescence hormonal upheavals or old age upheavals will not disturb it.
Last question.
Sadhguru, it was a magnificent session, filled with so many questions, but it was amazing. You talked about this universe, this cosmos, and the kind of connections are there. And there is a lovely, beautiful connectedness. This Himalayan intelligence may be this consciousness and this revolution of spirituality, possibly it is going to start.
See, let me say this because I'm not somebody who will go about matching dates or horoscopes with anybody but no, I find the important thing is you need to understand this land on which you're walking. Land has memory of its own. This land has that kind of memory that you cannot figure with your logical understanding of life. In my experience, I have seen things and I have known things and I've experienced things during my journeys in this part of the world which can never be articulated, never. So, I'm deeply… because I'm seeing what's happening in Kailash right now. It's very painful to see what's happening in Kailash. I'm not talking about this like it's a religious something, no. There is a knowledge there. There is knowledge that you cannot imagine, that kind of knowledge. But today, with mundane understanding of things, people are completely turning it upside down in many ways. I hope they won't go further, but you don't know what they will do. At least what's in our hands, in our country. This land shouldn't be turned upside down, we must do it gently because the land has memory. It's very difficult to explain this, it doesn't make logical sense to you right now, but believe me, see, there are many types of people. I know time is up, Chief Minister has other functions, I'm sorry. Can I take 2 minutes, sir? See, there are powerful spaces in the world which are highly transformative. This is simply because of the type of work that's happened there and the kind of beings who have lived there. I'm telling you, I've walked in these mountains for days without food, just drinking water, and perfectly fine, and walking like 18 to 20 kilometers a day in the mountains. This is not just about physical well-being, this has other dimensions which is not easy to recreate. It is almost impossible to recreate in today's world. It's extremely important. This is preserved and presented to the world properly. As I said in the beginning, India has a serious problem about presentation. We need to learn to present our things properly. We have the most… We can run this entire country just on tourism if we want, if we do things smartly. Not just Uttarakhand. Entire nation has so many cultural, natural and other aspects that we can actually run the whole nation if we go at it. But unfortunately, we have taken to Western ways, we want to do the same things that they did. So when I said Switzerland, I know it's I'm not trying to compare Uttarakhand to Switzerland. I'm saying they are earning $43 billion out of their tourism. Why are we not? And believe me, your Uttarakhand has many more features in every way compared to Switzerland, all right? Many more aspects. Some that are tangible, some that cannot be tangible, but still people cannot… nobody can go without experiencing it. So it's very important it's presented properly. If there is anything I can do, I will not hesitate, we will definitely do that.
जैसा कि ये एक बहुत ही दुर्लभ संयोग रहा है ऐसा सेशन होने का। हमारे शास्त्रों में बोला है अमंत्रम अक्षम नास्ति नास्ति मूलम अनौषिधम अयोग्यः पुरुषो नास्ति योजकः तत्र दुर्लभः। ऐसा कोई अक्षर नहीं है जिससे कोई न कोई मंत्र न बनता हो, ऐसी कोई जड़ नहीं है जिससे कोई न कोई औषधि न बनती हो, और ऐसा कोई व्यक्ति नहीं है जो किसी न किसी काम का न हो। जो दुर्लभ है, एक अच्छा योजक होना दुर्लभ है। हमारे साथ सदगुरु जी के रूप में एक अच्छा योजक तो था ही, हमारे साथ हमारे युवा मुख्यमंत्री के रूप में माननीय पुष्कर सिंह धामी जी भी थे। तो दोनों के साथ ये जो हमारा वार्तालाप रहा वो बहुत ही ज्ञानवर्धक रहा। सभी की ओर से आदरणीय सदगुरु जी का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
Thank you very much, Sadhguru ji. It was wonderful session. बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया, and we hope to see you soon here in Uttarakhand. Also, we would like to thank Mr. Himanshu Tyagi for organizing this wonderful event, Mr. Kananji for all the coordination, and special thanks to Mr. R. Rajesh Kumar, DM Dehradun. Thank you very much.
बंद हो गया?